Hey everybody, what's up? It is Josh Basuito, aka Action Scripter, and we are live on the GHPC developer stream for the month of June 2022. I'm going to mute these alerts. I swear to God. Okay. That did not work. Whatever. Either way. We are very excited about something that has happened recently, which is we got into Steam NextFest 2022 June. For those who don't know, NextFest is a event that Steam puts on regularly for games that are upcoming. Can you guys hear that alert sound on stream? I feel like you can. Okay, let's go ahead and mute that for now. I'm gonna need everybody to save your follows till after the stream. No, I'm kidding. So we have an entry in NextFest, which is an event that Steam puts on regularly for games that are not released yet. You can do it one time if you have a game releasing on Steam, and during the event you can live stream and put a playable demo. And so that's exactly what we're doing. Starting June 13 and going through the 20th, we will have a pair of live streams. You can see the times on the GHPC Steam page under recent announcements. And we will have a Steam demo, which actually we put live already. We wanted to have it ready for early press. Some people do coverage of NextFest starting as early as June 2nd. So we have an early version of the Steam demo up right now. If you go on Steam, search GHPC, go to our page, you will see a big green download button, which was not there before. And this is, I don't know if you can review it, Mako. I know you can review the regular one. If you're a curator, you can do an early review. We have a couple of curator reviews right now. Previous Fest is, I think we missed that one, front door. So anyway, I don't usually say this, but I'm going to need everybody to go to the Steam page, follow, download the demo, and wishlist. Smash that download button. This actually does help us, especially the wishlisting. These metrics, they tell Steam that the game is interesting, that people would like to see it, and the more we have going on like that, the more organic spread we get from the platform. That's the only way we have of gaming the system. You can't pay to promote your game or anything like that. It's just whatever Valve thinks people will buy. And so it's pretty much up to you guys to make them promote GHPC in that way. So yeah, by actually having an audience, working as designed. So anyway, in the meantime, we were working on some other stuff before we got kind of jump scared by the early portion of NextFest showing up. One question first though, can you guys still hear the alert sound or no? I'm not sure if I successfully muted it. Okay. The cost of that was you can't hear kavi. So I'm going to unmute my audio, and so we have Kavi here. Say something, Kavi.
Something.
All right, he did exactly what I told him to. He's reliable like that. He stole my joke as well. Problem is, at some point my OBS lost the volume slider for alerts, and I'm not sure how to get it back. That's very unfortunate. So you guys are going to be hearing that for as long as alerts keep coming in. Oh, MDuck, I tried to turn them off. I tried to turn them off. They are not listening. So as long as there are more smartasses in the audience following, we'll keep having that come up.
I'll ask you again in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. MDuck, if I change the sound to just silence, oh, you mean the actual alert sound? I wonder, does it even let me? I can't even find where to change that sound. So, yeah, not sure. Anyway, we'll worry about that next stream apparently because we're live now. So
I'm so amazed that something we don't touch for like 2 months seems to shift every 2 months.
Yeah, but also the weird thing is nobody ever follows during a normal stream. There's like 3 people maybe for the whole hour. And now that we're like, oh, there's sound and I can't figure out how to stop it, everybody's like follow. So yeah.
Following out of spite, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. We really have to figure out how to game this actually. We need to pretend that we get annoyed every time somebody buys the game. And then be like, oh my god, I wish people would stop purchasing Gunner Heat PC on Steam. It's so irritating. Every time the purchase sound comes in, it wakes me up out of a dead sleep, and my god.
Those jerks.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad. I don't even want to look at my bank account.
Yep, it's infuriating. It's just I wish they would not do it. So anyway, what we have today is I'm first gonna run the Steam demo because that seems pretty neat. It's live right now. You could play it at any time, but save it for after the stream. And we also like people to play it because it is a metric that Steam uses to say, hey, this is something interesting, maybe we should promote it to more people. So, after the stream, go ahead on the Gunner Heat PC Steam page and find that demo button. You can click it. Alright, so I'm going to switch to screen here.
Follow the game, wishlist it, download the demo, like
yeah.
Do every little bit of interaction. Please.
Okay, so this is the actual game, so no one can play it yet, but I have like the events on the feed or whatever. But there's also the demo, and this one anybody can download and play.
Found this game from a TikTok. Yeah, we had a bunch of people join or see the game from a TikTok. That was actually pretty cool to see. We
should make an account on TikTok at some point.
We really should.
Bite the bullet, take the zoomer pill, you know. Okay, so the Steam demo, this is the 3rd version of the GHPC demo that is available now. The trick with this one, it's different from the other 2. The Patreon demo is everything that we've got in a stable enough state to release that we feel like releasing. So that has a generated mission mode, it has all the instant action missions, it has all the vehicles that are completed. The public build on itch is the same as the Patreon build, but without generated missions and without many of the vehicles. It's a limited selection. The Steam demo is kind of a combination of both. We have a hand-picked selection of instant action missions, just kind of our favorite ones, what we thought was the best showcase. It has no generated missions, or it says campaign, I'll get into that. And it has all the vehicles. So if you are a public demo player, and you have been waiting to play the T-72, the Abrams, the BMP-1, the variants of the T-72 and Abrams, whatever, you can play it now on the Steam demo. That is a limited time offer though. The Steam demo is only going to be around for NextFest, and maybe a little bit after, probably the month of June is all. So if you are not on the Patreon, you will have access to those vehicles for this month, and then that's it until the game comes out. Or you can support the game on Patreon, get access to the Patreon demo, and then you get everything. So, mandatory plug, patreon.com/GunnerHeatPC. That is the only source of funding for this project. It's ridiculous, insanity that we have been able to do what we have already just by Patreon. But we are extremely grateful to all of you for supporting us in that way. So the more the merrier, and we can go faster and farther if that number goes up. Anyhow, let's jump into some gameplay. And Kavi, can you keep an eye out for any interesting questions?
Always. It is what you kind of pay me for.
It is what I kind of pay you for.
feeding Harry food via ninja koalas. We cannot feed Harry, or rather, he is doing his own thing. So any kind of food we send him, he will just disregard.
Alright, so this Silver Dart's gotta be one of my favorite missions, just because it hits all the bases.
The crowd pleaser. Voice lines come from a mix of voice actors and actual crew members.
Yeah.
When do we get the sequel to the UAZ? No comment.
The sequel to the UAZ.
Yeah, for the rally mission, I suspect.
If Patreon is your only source of funding, where will the donos and subs from this stream go? They actually go to the shadow government. They take their cut. No, they go to us as well. That's Patreon's their only like big source of funding. Have you considered
Patreon? Oh, go ahead.
Have you considered harnessing that voice lines from crew to go populist about supporting vet exposure? You know, going populist, nothing could go wrong with that. That's a good plan. What were you gonna say, Kavi?
No, I was just gonna say, aside from Patreon, there's a link to like a PayPal thing that you set up ages ago, and then that's about it. Once this gets into Steam, ideally we will have sales take over, but I'm sure that will be an ordeal.
I shot the ground like a Steam player.
You shot the ground like I was playing. Come on, man. Are you shooting at unrendered tanks? Those are definitely rendered tanks. I can see them right now.
He's resisting.
Any rough estimate on release? Yes, the rough estimate is summer.
It's on the Steam page.
Thank you.
You can have all the rough estimate you want, as long as it's summer 2022.
When infantry is added, will they scream in pain if they are shot by a 30mm in the leg? There will be sounds and gore and all of that wonderful stuff eventually as we get to it.
I'm not having a good time here.
Doesn't look like it. How modern will future vehicles be? In other words, what's going to be the most modern vehicle in the game? Depends on the theater we're in. If we do development on a more modern theater, we're going to try our best to match to that theater. But right now, we're doing Cold War with Fulda Gap, and if we go back in time to an earlier theater, that's what we're going to target.
Yep. Target is 1980s or newer, but the actual specific list of theaters that we're making is not publicly released.
Josh Bad confirmed. Oh, that's good.
You know what? Just because I'm the developer doesn't mean I'm the best at the game.
Oh no.
I'm gonna restart.
And I'm terrible at this game.
I'm gonna restart because I don't want to end on a loss for that mission.
This is a really great mission, guys.
It's sunset now, so it's kind of like the vibes are better. I think I'm gonna win.
Okay, let's go with that.
That's the scientific approach.
All right.
My brother in Christ, you made the game. Listen, I can also ban chatters.
No, they're correct.
They can be correct somewhere else. No?
Brabant Kubelwagen when? Or is it too powerful to be present in-game?
Brabant is... It's definitely the most powerful vehicle in the theater. I'm not sure if we'll add it or not.
Where are the dev hacks at? This is a build specifically with dev hex turned off.
Yeah, this is the Steam
We don't
build.
got that happening. Dev only cheat codes. We should have a cheat panel of some sort. In time, we'll have something to that effect. If only for us.
Who is shooting me? A very overachieving BRDM, I think.
He's got your number. What's the time frame for new particle effects?
They're being worked on.
Thank you.
We don't give out time frames because they change a lot.
Yep.
Safer to just...
My was basically what could I reasonably say? But Josh is correct.
Where is that?
Soon TM. That's correct.
There he is. Somewhere in there.
Multiplayer ready for early access or hard to tell? It's being worked on. Our developer who's working on that is going through some life at the moment. We're also not his only client, so we work with them as we can. Aiming for EA, but we will see how it goes.
That's right. I would like to be able to say, I can promise you this and that and the other thing, but, you know, it's safer to just say we're working on it and then see what happens.
Yeah. Josh only makes promises to me.
Rushsir says, is it just me or do the trees look different in the Steam demo? It is not just you. The trees in the Steam demo are an upgraded renderer that we just added. They are not yet in the itch demos. They will be in the next patch. Speaking of next patch, it has been, what, 20 days or so since the last patch, something like that?
Like that,
yeah. We usually try to do at least one patch every month. We're due for another one. Hello. This guy wants to get shot. Hold on. Okay, so we're due for another patch, according to our usual schedule. We've got a lot of stuff that we're working on, and the Steam demo kind of took some time from our usual dev cycle. So what we're gonna do is turn the music down. What we're gonna do is release a little bit later. We were intending to do it on stream day. That's not happening. It's gonna be a few more days, most likely sometime this week. We will be releasing the new tree renderer. We've got a few bug fixes in, and then we've got a campaign mode for the patrons specifically. That's going to be replacing the generate mission screen, because as we said before, that is a starting point for a campaign mode.
Yep.
The idea is that those generated missions are one of the types of missions that can be in a campaign, and you're just kind of getting an early preview of what those would be like. But we've improved missions since then significantly. We're working on some more intricate ones for campaign stuff. When will the campaign mode drop for patrons? In the next patch, which, as I said, is going to be a few days from now, most likely. We're still working on it. Now, campaign mode is not going to be in its final form when it releases. We're hoping to have something a lot more intricate and polished. You know, we have kind of like a front line and different things going on. That's not going to be in the first iteration. This is very much a minimum viable product kind of deal, MVP. It's going to be a mission selection screen. You're going to have a variety of missions, and then you're going to be able to progress and eventually win if you win consistently with those missions. In the future, you'll be able to shift to new areas. You'll be able to push the front lines back and forth. You'll see much more clearly what's going on, but now it's just kind of like run some missions in a chain and do better than the other team, and then you can win. just like everything else in the game, it's iterative. We add things and then add more things later until the game's done. So patrons will get the first little chunk of that for campaign coming up in the next patch. Command and Conquer style live action cutscenes are vital for immersion. Yes, we have to get some bad Russian voice acting and some really over the top costumes, and then that'll definitely polish it off.
I can do bad Russian voice acting at least.
Mm-hmm. I can do Russian voice acting so bad that it doesn't actually sound like Russian, like you're not sure what I'm trying to do.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'll talk like a generic Midwestern guy, and that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked about DLSS and FSR. I'm not sure whether we'll do that or not. That sounds like something to worry about when we're polishing up more for either early access release or after that. Our to-do list right now is so big. It's I try not to think about how many things are on it still, but we have them all sorted by priority, and we'll do our best.
Yeah. On top of what you were saying with the campaign being an iterative process, like getting this first patch out of the way allows us to do so much more too over the next month and some change, or rather the rest of the summer. So it's going to be very cool, the next few things that come out.
For sure. Any new vehicles planned? Yes, always. We have 2 whole factions that are not in the game yet, actually. That would be USSR and West Germany. So we'll be getting Leopards, we'll be getting T-64s. You know, if you look up what West Germany and Russia had in this area at 1985-ish, you'll know what we're adding. Right now we only have East Germany and US, and it's okay for now, but we want to add more, of course.
Will IFVs be able to utilize and command infantry dismounts?
So APCs and IFVs will be able to tell their infantry squads when to dismount, but we don't know if you'll be able to give them orders after that, and you certainly won't be able to direct control them at all. They'll just be their own units after that.
Any progress on German-Russian voice lines?
We're validating our voice line sheets for those, the scripts, and once we're satisfied with that, we will be contacting people whose auditions we liked. If you haven't put an audition in and you still want to, you can email the email address on the website. I believe it's info@gunnerheatpc.com, and we'll get you a prompt for that. Will West Germany mean things like the SPZ Lukes? We're not talking about specific vehicles until they're released. We never do. But you can surmise.
We've learned to not do that.
Yeah, you can take a good guess of what's coming, because obviously this is based on a historical build-up for a war that never happened. And if you look at what was present in that build-up, you have the same information we have when we're deciding what to make. So, you know, if you look at what Russia's flagship tank was in 1985, for example, you'll have an idea of a thing we're adding to the game later.
The game is designed to be played with whatever you would like to play it with. We have a mapping, an input mapping system there for people to use a Xbox controller, a flight stick, any variety of items. The controls are there. You can decide what's best to play for however you want to play it. I use mouse and keyboard, for what it's worth.
I also use mouse and keyboard.
What do the infantry do, and how do they act on the battlefield? Infantry will be the way to actually get certain objectives done. Infantry are not like fodder. The whole reason you have vehicles is to basically protect your infantry so they can do the job.
Yeah.
They will have a number of different ways to handle those objectives, though.
Yeah,
They probably aren't just going to run straight to an objective. That would be ridiculous. They'll have some AI in the background to actually plan out a better route to that.
Yeah, infantry will serve two purposes. The primary one is exactly what Kavi said. They'll be the boots on the ground that actually win battles, because we haven't really portrayed the gameplay in its final form yet, since we don't have infantry, we don't have artillery, we don't have air support. But the tank is not it's not the whole army, it's not the main deal. You send tanks in, you can shoot a lot of stuff, but you're not going to hold anything. You need infantry for that. So in the end, most of the missions that involve infantry are going to involve protecting the infantry and making sure they get where they're going and they take their objective. The tank is not going to be, oh, I got 20 kills and I won. It's going to be destroy the enemy APCs, blow up enemy strong points, protect your infantry, and it'll shift your role completely. The other thing infantry will be good for is anti-tank. So if you're driving through a tree line recklessly, you don't have enough scouting or whatever, they can hit you with RPGs or whatever they have. We've got the dragon, we've got the RPG, we've got law, we've got several other things. And it's not going to be a walk in the park if you see infantry and you're like, oh, they're just squishies, I can keep going. You might lose your tank.
Yes, helicopters are also planned. When we say air support, that is one of the items that will be in there. AI controlled, though.
Yeah, anything that's not a ground vehicle is going to be AI controlled. Infantry, aircraft, artillery support. But they'll be around and they'll be important for the battle.
Will be a nice change of pace from other tank games. I don't know any other tank games. Josh, what's another tank game?
There's several of them.
I don't know. Any plan for a Mac release?
We should really try building another one. We had to stop a while ago because something changed in the build pipeline and we can't build without having another Mac to build on. If we source one and we decide to go for it, then yeah, we could make Mac builds, but right now we're focused on Windows builds and testing those.
So there's Josh's answer. My answer is I have a Mac. We could probably actually do this build.
You've been holding out on me?
I just got it. No, my wife upgraded hers, and now I have one. The thing is, if we start building for that, and it takes us away from Windows development, like the main platform that we're working on, we might have to shift focus to different bugs, different things that are only Mac related. And if that starts taking away from like the main core trunk development, like we'd never finish. So I'm of the opinion that as Windows gets, or this build, the core build gets more solidified, then we can eventually go with Mac, Linux, running on your Samsung fridge. Pick a thing. I don't care.
That was
But
bad
until
cop.
then,
No, good cop thinks that a Mac build would be poggers, and we should try it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
we will see.
Oh, that's a lot of toes.
Hey. Good
Russian
job.
reverse speed. Damn you. I do not like the Bradleys.
Toes, Malyutkas, all of those anti-tank missiles just are so terrifying whenever I see them. Because they're usually coming right for me. To be honest, Linux support is more important than Mac. Everyone that is not Windows is secondary, in my opinion.
Also, any opinions about which one is more important will be disregarded because all your opinions are terrible anyway.
Ooh, hey.
Like, seriously, everybody thinks that their own system is more important. Why would we listen to
Oh,
anybody?
when it comes to a system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's got their own fanboy opinion for that. I miss Windows XP. Person.
Will SPAAs be usable? We're not sure. They'll probably be in the game. If we can make them interesting to use, then we might make them usable. I think it would be cool to have a playable Shulka, but you know, there's a lot of extra considerations that go into that, so who knows. I need to get better at ranging Bradleys.
Yeah, you need to get better. Just that's it.
Told.
Engage release when? Oh, please no. We'll make a release for the Ouya before that.
Yeah.
I never worked with Windows XP. I just used it to play old DOS games. So specifically, that's what I miss Windows XP for. But anyway.
Yeah, I liked how all my old games worked on XP, and now they don't work.
That was like all the games you ever played when you were a kid too.
Mm-hmm.
Armored Fist.
Armored Fist, I think, still works. Oh, that's... yeah, okay. So the thing about tow missiles is you don't want to get shot by one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. It's a little known fact.
Wow. The things I learn on these streams.
He seems very much alive and angry. Oh, maybe not. He is, though.
Engage is Java 4.0? I really hate to know that. I wish I could remove that fact from my head.
Okay.
Armored Fist 3 works in Windows 7. Can confirm. There you go, Josh.
Yeah, I am playing it from time to time still. It's a good game. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to Grom these Bradleys. That's the only thing that really we can accomplish at this point.
Will we see ATGMs like 9K112 Cobra modeled when the time comes for the T80?
Probably. Although I'm told they didn't carry very many of them standard, so you might not get very many of them.
Any new optimization updates? Our tree rendering looks better and supposedly gives some performance boosts. Aside from that, has there been any other optimization stuff that we've done recently?
There's always optimization stuff, but then a lot of it gets offset as well when we add new things that aren't optimized.
Yeah.
So it's
always a give and take.
It changes. It's gonna be like that until the game comes out, and then probably after that as well. I've seen people complaining about the demo that it doesn't run well on their computer. And first of all, we put system requirements on the page, so if you don't have like a strong gaming system and the demo doesn't run well, you know, we warned you. But also, it's a demo and it's actively in development and we're not optimized yet. So, you know, we can't really do anything about it yet. It's it'll come when it comes.
When will you remove the 5 million tri-spheres inside the vehicles to make the game run better so you can say it's optimized? Those are core spheres. Those are necessary.
Yeah, those are load-bearing spheres.
Yeah.
In the future, you think weaker PCs would have a chance to run this game? No. Oh, not very weak. Weaker than now? Sure. But, you know, who's to say what the limit is?
It really depends. If we get a group of people who can really help us with optimization of this, because we know that there are places in the code base, in not so much the models, we have a good workflow for that, but in the environment, we know that there are spots that can have optimization. But the games we're almost always typically compared to have full teams almost working on optimization or just optimization. Or they spend enough time on the core engine that they don't have to worry about that shit anymore. So
yeah, we're not a big studio. We don't have some of those tricks up our sleeve, or we take longer to do it. Somebody asked if you will have to expose your actual commander to use the commander machine guns. Yes, you will. one of the reasons that we don't have them in yet is because we don't have the crew animations. Oh, goodbye T-72s. So when the crew buttoning, unbuttoning stuff arrives, that will be much closer to being able to use the commander machine guns.
Just give them a T-posing commander. The T-pose is actually in the game. Like, when we have infantry and more animations and stuff, if you ever see someone T-posing, that is a broken animation. That's more of a debug feature at this point.
For a little while, the default pose was actually dabbing.
That's right. There we go.
I was testing the Ural truck just before it was added, and I accidentally messed up the config on the driver. So I spawned in, and the driver was sitting in the Ural, like, and I was like, oh, okay, the animation's broken. I feel like there's Bradleys around, but I never see them until the missiles start flying.
We'll show the dab later. Maybe even in the patron Q&A, which is after the stream.
Yeah, I think I might have a screenshot of it.
You definitely do.
I don't know if I took a screenshot of the truck with the dab, but I do have, like, a soldier doing it. Come on, Milyuka.
So it looks like Josh isn't doing anything, but he's being an expert. Ooh, well done.
The thing is, they're mad at me now. Oh boy. Okay.
You see where you messed up there?
Yeah, I went against America. It's okay, we have one more BMP. And it has... oh, 2 more BMPs. Okay, we're gonna win. You must construct additional Mayukas. Where are the Bradleys? Hello. I found them.
You got this.
Okay, what we do is we send my teammate ahead as a decoy, and then get shot ourselves.
Will you be able to lead a platoon of tanks in the future, or will it just be about controlling individual tanks?
You can
There's
control a
already
platoon right now.
Yep.
It depends
you
on the
already have
mission.
that functionality. Yeah. If you see platoon controls, it'll tell you right when you load into a vehicle if you're part of a platoon or you're a platoon leader. But if you see that in a particular mission, take that as a potential for how we're going to be handling platoons in later campaigns.
Yeah, the Q menu will show platoon controls if you have platoon mates and you're the leader. Apparently I'm the leader right now, but I don't think my guy can move anymore. Some missions have it and some don't. Another question, will you be able to take over a tank you'd wish without having to spam tab? Yeah, we'll eventually have a menu to show which tanks you can switch into. Some of the stuff is placeholder. I mean, really, a lot of stuff in the demo is placeholder.
A lot
but,
is placeholder. The red text, the damage text on the right-hand side, that's basically debug text for us. A ton of the UI is all... This is stuff that we haven't even done a UI pass on. A game of this scope is very iterative in process, especially with a team of our size. In the future, will you bring this game to consoles?
It's unknown. Consoles are a bit more work, and it's something we don't want to worry about right now.
Bad cop. I agree with what Josh said, and no.
No, as in you think never console?
Never console. Never think it's console. I will be pleasantly surprised. But, I mean, if we get enough support and we get this thing optimized, who knows? Consoles are going to need that optimization wizard, and several of them. Consoles are like embedded system developments. They're generally just a bit more powered than the current gen of PCs, and then they become obsolete really quickly. You can squeeze a lot out of consoles, but it takes some doing. How about mobile? I recognize your sarcasm. Good job.
Yep. If your phone is the size of a PC tower, then maybe. Yeah, it really was a slugfest. This mission is a tough one. I can never get the positioning quite right. I always
You're
think...
in the Steam...
Huh?
Sorry, you're in the Steam demo, right?
Yes, I am. Everybody can play this for free anytime they want.
That wasn't just me trying to plug the Steam demo, but it does work that way. Show them the new map control.
The new map. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I completely forgot about this. We have a pannable and zoomable map for every scene now. It's still being worked on, so like you can scroll it out and see the borders around it and whatever. Like there's not that many markings, but it has all the information it had on the current map, and you can change your view. So if I only want to see the terrain immediately around me, I can zoom in. If I want to count the buildings in town, I can do that. We have some...
all the fun you can have with maps.
Yeah. We have some pretty slick rendering stuff going on here to make sure that it doesn't require massive textures to work, and I'm not going to get too into the technical side, but it's SDF, and it's a very cool tech. So, yeah. I think it's coming along nicely.
Is the map based on any particular location within the fold gap? Yes.
This specific map right now is near Point Alpha, which is a spot along the border wall in the 80s.
Get into the technical side. Google sign distance fields, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the technical. You're welcome.
MDuck says, would laminating the maps be included as a campaign feature, and if you don't, any rainy weather would damage the map? Questions like this, the answer is pretty much automatically no. If it's something that doesn't matter at all for gameplay, and it's just for like, oh, it's cool that they thought of that, like, we have to do other things, we don't have time for that.
Yeah. That's a cool little bit of immersion, and yeah, maybe if we get a bag of money, and then we can do shit like that.
Well, that's like if the game is pretty much done.
Yeah.
And we're in kind of a more easy cycle where we can put a team on DLC and then like work on polish. That's when we would start to think about, okay, what little details can we throw in that we haven't done yet?
I'd give you some kavi coins as a bag of money. The kavi coin is not very strong in the States.
No.
If you've seen the crypto markets.
I've been watching the charts for kavi coin. They're worthless right now.
Hey. Hurtful. There were a few questions related to this. Drawing on the map.
Oh, I know what you're gonna draw.
I'm just saying. Drawing on the map. There might be something for drawing on the map. Just for that turret in the sky.
Oh, by the way,
for taking notes and stuff.
I don't know if you guys remember, there was a glitch in the... Well, there is a glitch in the current itch builds where the turret of a T-72 will disappear if you look at it funny. That is fixed. As you can see, this is a whole turret. Anyway, we've got bug fixes.
Whole ass turret.
They just are in the Steam demo and not in the other ones yet. We kind of cut our regular update cycle short with the Steam demo, so it has like half of the stuff that we were planning for the next patch, and it's just out, and then we'll keep updating it as we can. I look forward to not having to maintain 3 builds anymore after this month. But for now, there are 3 builds of the game.
I look forward to having that shit automated. But once we have the game, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because I'd personally like to keep a demo of some sort available. If people want to try the game out, then cool.
All right, lunchtime, everyone. We're having angry spaghetti served up by Bradley fighting vehicle. And here in the T-72, we can see spicy pasta.
What's it like publishing to Steam? Is it much different to itch? The core process of pushing up a build, from what you've shown me, Josh, looks fairly similar. But there's a lot of additional tools and metrics in the background for Steam that you have to sign up for.
Yeah, Steam is a whole system. Itch, you just start up a console app and let it scan for changes and then upload the patch. Steam is the same thing, but then it has to go through human review as well. And so there are catches, like if you set something up wrong, they deny it, or if you violate some of their terms, they deny it and you have to go back and change it. We had a little bit of trouble getting the Steam build up because of some stuff that we didn't realize they were strict on. But eventually we got it uploaded just in time. I think it was on June 2nd, which is when press starts for NextFest. What next? Someone asked what's the status of multiplayer. Multiplayer is being worked on. Our dev who's working on it had some setbacks, but we're continuing along and we'll finish it when we can. It's not always possible to give a proper release date on this stuff. And
Yeah,
remember,
and if we...
our team is like, at any given time there's maybe 5 people working on the game. And we have a shoestring budget, so, you know, try to take it easy on us. We're doing the best we can.
I was gonna say, there has been progress, but it's more on the technical side. And if we showed off that all of the minutia of this technical progress, it would just kind of come off as like, cool, but can you actually show us, you know, some multiplayer or some demo of stuff? And it's not up to snuff as we would like to show it off.
Yeah, we'll show it when it's ready to be shown, and until then, that's all I can say. We're working on it.
When multi-crew is added, how would a loader play his role? Like pressing buttons to load the shell, or...
It's doubtful that we'll have loader role, because it's boring. If we can find a way to make it fun, then maybe.
Like a Dance Dance Revolution minigame.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Good.
Excellent load. Press R simulator. Yeah. It's one button in their entire control panel. Are we having multi-crew at all? Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
That is a core idea behind the game, and as far as multiplayer and co-op are concerned, that's going to be one of the main rules of having different roles, or different multi-crew.
Someone says the loader can use his sights to also spot enemies. I'm not sure what sights you're talking about, unless you're out the hatch with binoculars, because these tanks just have periscopes.
You stop pressing R, you drop the shell. Man, loader's gonna be like the linchpin and the hardest role of the game.
Everything kind of happened at once. You're not waiting for on the way. Yep, that's true.
I'm writing you up.
The voice controller is getting some upgrades too. You won't see anything in the patch about that, but it's preparatory work for other countries, as well as stuff like the Bradley getting voice lines. So That's something to look out for in the future. Are T-72 turrets missing the ammo carousel? The ammo carousel would not come out with the turret. It's not attached to the turret. If you look in the hull after the turret blows off, you can see the carousel. I think you can see like the top cover of it in the hull.
You should know tank games don't care about fun. It's an addictive, abusive relationship where you strive to hurt others. Well, that's the difference with Gunner Heat PC. We want the game to hurt you.
We don't strive to hurt you, we'll just do it accidentally.
That's fair. We want to challenge you.
I will say though, while we're on the subject, it's not something that we like to beat on because it gets old and we have other things to talk about, but part of the reason that GHPC was made is because we don't think a tank game should be synonymous with microtransactions and grind and all this stuff. So you won't see any of that here. It's going to be about what we want the game to be. It's going to be about the tanks, the experience, and turning it into a slot machine is not really one of our goals.
Yeah. But it would be a fun slot machine if we did that.
It would. Can you imagine how much money we'd make too?
Oh yeah. Bunch of lights and whistles. Will there be a hardcore mode with no hit confirmations?
So hit confirmations, we've debated taking them out entirely or trimming them down in some way. That still remains to be seen what the final version is, or whether there's any options for it. Right now they're mostly a debug thing, but everything in the game is placeholder, etc. So we'll see what happens.
Everything is always development.
Everything's placeholder until we say it's not, or until the game releases 1.0,
Yeah.
We've upgraded these trees, they look much better now. Placeholder, We've got these nice tank models, all placeholder. Until the game's done.
Oh, hush you.
I'm just saying, anything could change at any time. We had a perfectly serviceable M60 before, and then our modeler was like, that doesn't look right, and redid the M60. So it turned out it was placeholder the whole time.
It's a better M60 now, though.
It's true.
When are you adding comms you can hear from other friendly AI tanks? As we get to it.
Are the textures gonna stay? They're kind of boring. Kavi, do you know what my answer is gonna be to this?
I do, but why don't you remind everyone?
You're kind of boring. Okay.
Maybe the entire game is placeholder. Yep. We're going for the long con of not actually making a game. It's just a placeholder.
No, we're actually making a game. Look, if we didn't want to actually make a game, we would never have promised to release this year.
Yeah.
There is so many things that I would rather have done more before I started selling the game and people could judge it. But you have to eventually make a move, or else it's just in development hell forever. So we forced ourselves to pick a time, and we're sticking to it.
Yep.
Early access at least gives us a little bit of an out to keep adding things that we didn't have time for.
We've got some advertising stuff on the horizon. We'll announce those when they come up. And even just getting a demo into Steam. It's a massive milestone. So, this has been a very this has been a filled of progress week. I'm shit with my sentences today. I'm on 4 hours of sleep here, guys. I apologize.
Someone just tried to Malyutka me. That's not very nice.
Good, look at what you did.
What did I do?
What didn't you do, Josh?
I know. It's true.
Kavi is a space cat, so no. I am a space cat. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing me. I feel seen.
That looks like a tank.
Kind of an IRL question more so than a game one, but how come the Bradley's thermal sight is red?
That's just what they used. There were various thermal systems being developed. They had the sensor side, and then they had monitors as well. I'm told the reason the Abrams has green thermals is because the monitor itself renders in green tones. Like if you hook the feed up to a black and white monitor, it would be black and white. Bradley presumably has a similar thing. Maybe they did some study and they decided that red was a good way to go. I don't know. I'm not really up on that information. All I know is that it's very iconic and hard to look at for a long time as well. And it's probably a good thing that they changed to black and white later on.
That was just the 80s, man. Neon red. Stranger Things. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you know how the world changed from black and white to color in the 40s and 50s? It changed to neon in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Like you're looking through the eyes of a Terminator. Yeah.
Ugh.
The only way to play. Josh, I'm gonna need you to stop dying.
I know, right?
It's about that time for the patron Q&A.
Is it already? Damn.
I know.
But I have
You
to.
all have made this stream so very fun.
I have to kill this
Josh.
BMP.
You were acceptable.
I'm always acceptable.
Good job.
I strive for the minimum viable performance.
You are my MVP. Take that however you wish. So while we're closing this up, the Steam demo is out. Again, please download, install, do any kind of interaction that Steam allows for you to do on that page, because it all affects their algorithm for our marketing.
Yes.
Getting more eyes on this and getting more feedback on the game definitely helps, so please and thank you.
Additional promotion. Even though Steam is what we're kind of concerned with right now, we want people to download the demo. We don't get any money from it because we're not selling on Steam yet. What we do get money from is Patreon, and when we get the money, we can make the game. So, if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, patreon.com/GunnerHeatPC, that is the way to go. You get access to the full unrestricted demo build. You can have your name in the credits if you do IFV tier. If you do MBT tier, you can see the feed of what we're merging into the game, and you can, what was the other thing? Occasionally we do special polls. So, yeah, there's all kinds of little rewards, and go check that out.
Yes, you get access to the patron Q&A that happens right after these streams, too.
Yes, that is also true, which is why we're going to wrap up. I'll never find out how many BMPs are over there. Oh well.
More than you could have killed.
Okay, hold on. This. We have to take a moment here. The first shot fired in this entire mission was this Chad BMP-1 seeing the oncoming Abrams over the houses and firing a Malyuka and getting a perfect lower front plate hit right at the center.
Damn.
Through the composite. It hit the entire crew. That Abrams was a complete kill. I don't think it even burned. I didn't see any fire. It just, everybody died. What a hit. Yeah, Soyuz Narashimi indeed. Yep. That's how it goes. Alpha 1-2 did not have a good mission.
Oof.
Sequential platoon numbers, of course. Alpha 1-3 is right behind. I'm assuming 1-1 is somewhere leading. Yeah, there. Nope, that's Alpha 3. Where is Alpha 1-1? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, and with that, let's shut that off. We have a button now in the escape menu to enter after action mode because a lot of people either don't have an end key on their keyboard or didn't understand what that meant. So now you can, in the Steam demo, you can hit escape and click end mission, and that goes to after action review.
We did that because we care about you all.
Enjoy. That BMP morbed the shit out of that Abrams. Yes, it did. I like the part where the BMP was like, it's morbin time, and then morbed all over the Abrams. Okay. With that little bit of cringe, we are going to end the stream and go to the Patreon Q&A. So, for those of you who are subscribers, we'll see you on Discord in a few minutes. Everybody else, thanks for coming to the stream.
Bye-bye.
What's next to the Sabo in the background? It's a bazooka round. Okay, that's it.